So today we want to talk a little bit about living wills. Keep in mind that there are actually 3 different total medical documents. There's your healthcare power of attorney, where you appoint somebody to make your medical decisions when you can't. There's your living will, and there's your HIPAA release, okay? The living will is the document where you are making your end-of-life decisions. You are doing that because you don't want your family to have to do it. It's a difficult document to sign, but keep in mind that the more that you plan, the easier it is for your family to follow your wishes, to prevent arguments, and to make what is already a really difficult situation at least a little bit easier. In Colorado, the law regarding living wills changed in 2011, and it actually changed because of the Terry Schiavo case. If you remember that situation, it's a young woman whose mother kept her alive for many years on life support. And in 2011, we changed the law in Colorado to add a provision to our living will to deal with how to handle a persistent vegetative state. So that means there are now 2 different parts to a living will. There's the part that deals with how to handle a terminal condition, and there's the part that deals with how to handle a persistent vegetative state. So let's talk about that terminal condition first. Terminal in the state of Colorado means that 2 doctors have said that a person has a condition that will cause the end of your life, and they cannot fix it, and they cannot cure it. But being terminal is not enough to invoke the living will. You also, in addition to being terminal, have to be unable to effectively receive or evaluate information, which in most cases means that you're unconscious, okay? In addition to that, keep in mind, you're also already on life support, all right? So you're terminal, you're unable to receive or evaluate information, and you're on life support. So truly, this is a situation where we're looking at an end-of-life scenario. Signing the living will is not a situation where we're trying to rush somebody into leaving this world before it is their time, right? All that we're trying to say is, if this situation were to happen 100 years ago, more likely than not, when it was your time, it was your time. But now we have the medical technology to keep you alive. And the question is, how long do you want to stay alive if you're not going to get any better, okay? Now the second part of the living will is then dealing with your artificial nutrition and hydration. When to remove the feeding tubes and IVs. That does not include moisture on the mouth to make you comfortable. The second part of the living will is the persistent vegetative state, which is defined in Colorado as 2 doctors have said that you are unconscious, they do not believe that you will ever wake up, and to the best of their knowledge, you cannot think or feel anything, okay? And so then again, it's the same question. How long do they wait before they remove the life support and the artificial nutrition and hydration? And some people would say, just remove it immediately. You know, when it's time, I'm ready to go. Some people would want a few days, right? 2 days, 4 days, 5, 7, 10, 14, whatever you're comfortable with. And that's generally time for your family to get here, to say goodbye, for them not to feel rushed, to get that closure that they need. It can also make you feel a little bit more comfortable if you just want a couple of days, okay? Now you could also choose to leave life support and artificial nourishment and hydration on indefinitely. I don't particularly recommend that, but that's again why you sign the living will, so that your family knows what your choices are. Whatever your choices are, we do highly recommend that you have a living will in place to guide your family so that you make the decision now while you're healthy, while you are objective, so that your family doesn't have to make that decision in the